citation or a fine for less serious violations. AB 278 establishes just such an option. It is modeled after similar provisions for other departments within the Department of Consumer Affairs. AB 278 will allow the Real Estate Commissioner, pending adoption of regulations, to cite and issue fines for violations that have not resulted in serious harm to the public. In providing for this step, it will allow the Department to discipline minor transgressions while focusing valuable resources on more serious violations. As pointed out in the analysis, the provisions of AB 278 are very similar to one section of SB 553 by Senator Calderon that is a much broader bill. We have been in discussions with Senator Calderon's office and will coordinate and resolve the minor differences. There is no opposition, and the bill received unanimous support in the Assembly. And then Stan is here from the California Association of Realtors in support as well. So, well, there's
yeah. Let me just, before you go on, there were some amendments recommended. Are you prepared to take those amendments?
If that's the amendment to increase the fine from 1,000 to 2,500, yes, we are willing to accept those. Thank you, Mr.
Excellent. Your witnesses, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Stan Wigg with the California Association of Realtors. We are in strong support of the bill. We believe that this will allow DRE to focus its prosecutorial resources on real wrongdoers, and for relatively minor situations where there's been no serious harm to the public, this allows an appropriate alternative. We urge your aye vote.
Thank you. Any more discussion in support? Any opposition? Members, any comments? Move the bill. Okay, there's a motion to move the bill. I think it's a great fine-tuning process to make things more smoother and hopefully to the benefit of consumers who are ultimately on the hook. So with that, do pass to appropriations, Madam Secretary.
As amended.
As amended, yes.
Price?
Aye.
Price, aye. Emerson?
Aye.
Emerson, aye. Corbett? Correa?
Aye.
Correa, aye. Hernandez?
Aye.
Hernandez, aye. Negrete-McLeod?
Aye.
Negrete-McLeod, aye. Vargas?
Aye.
Vargas, aye. Walters? Wyland?
This is item 1278.
Aye.
Walters, aye. 7-0.
Okay, 7-0. The bill is out.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much,
Thank
members.
you,
Appreciate
Senator
it
Hill.
very much.
Probably want to call for the other one.
All right.
Yeah, we'll leave that on call. Mr. Barry Hill.
Yes, sir.
AB 878.
Nice to see you, Mr. Chairman.
Sir.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, AB 878 is the latest piece of legislation to come before this committee from myself and Assemblyman Bill Monning in our effort to combat the underground economy. AB 878 continues the effort to ensure that state agencies have the best tools to go after the gross violators and the low-hanging fruit. AB 878 simply requires a workers' compensation insurance carrier report to the contractor's state licensing board when a workers' comp policy is canceled due to fraud. These reports are already mandated by current law, so the burden on the businesses will be very minimal. Yet these reports will provide a very valuable information to the CSLB. Such information will point the CSLB to the most obvious cases of fraud, allowing them to deal with the case quickly, utilizing staff time in the most effective and efficient way possible. AB 878 follows the same formula that has been successful at the Department of Insurance. While the most egregious cases are handled by local prosecutors, many cases go nowhere. Investigations of felony premium insurance fraud are very labor-intensive, difficult to prosecute, and due to prison overcrowding, not a top priority for incarceration. As a consequence, hundreds of these cases of fraud are going uncaught every year. And while the number may be small, it prevents legitimate businesses from being competitive against the crooked companies that are able to underbid the competitors due to the lower cost of business from the insurance fraud. I've worked with the insurance companies to take language that ensures all privacy concerns have been addressed relating to any personal information that would be involved in these reports. With me today, Dave didn't make it, is Laura I see, okay, Laura. And to answer any technical questions that you guys may have. Hey, there's Mr. Monty. Why don't we let Mr. Monty go first here?
I apologize for my tardy arrival. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Timing. Continue.
Timing is perfect.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members. I'm pleased to co-present and co-author AB 878 with Assemblymember Berryhill regarding notification to contractors, State License Board, when a workers' comp policy is canceled. I believe Mr. Berryhill has covered the salient elements of this bill. It's part of our bipartisan cooperation to give more tools to enforcement agencies, making sure there's compliance with workers' comp. This protects law-abiding employers. It's designed to protect workers as well, to make sure that they are afforded the protection and coverage that they're entitled to. It's an honor to work with Mr. Berryhill on this. We've received good bipartisan support and would be honored to receive the support of this committee. Ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Any other witnesses in support?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members. Laura Zuniga with the Contractor State License Board. This bill is intended to reduce premium insurance fraud and to allow CSLB to take action against construction employers engaged in fraudulent activity. I'd ask for your support today. Thank you.
Any other witnesses in support? Any witnesses in opposition? Members, any comments to this bipartisan solution?
Move the bill.
It's been moved. This is going to be double referred to Labor and Industrial Relations. And the motion is due pass. Madam Secretary.
Price.
Aye.
Price, aye. Emerson. Emerson, aye. Corbett. Correa.
Aye.
Correa, aye. Hernandez. Hernandez, aye. Negrete McLeod. Negrete McLeod, aye. Vargas. Vargas, aye. Walters. Walters, aye. Wyland. Wyland, aye.
Okay,
8-0.
that bill is out. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you, members.
Thank you. AB 431. Assemblymember Fiona Ma in the House.
Thank you. Good afternoon, members. AB 431 will create a retired designation for certified public accountants through the California Board of Accountancy. Currently, when a CPA or a PA wants to retire, the licensee has two choices: either pay the state to maintain an inactive license, which costs the same as an active license, or cancel or surrender their license. Accountants who have practiced for many years are very proud of their profession and believe a delinquent, canceled, or surrendered status is undignified and want to avoid it. However, many retired licensees who simply want to stop paying for the active-inactive license fee have no other choice. In California, at least 7 other Department of Consumer Affairs boards offer their professionals a retired status option, including doctors, dentists, pharmacists, architects, and engineers. In the United States, at least 27 accountancy boards offer a retired designation. AB 431 allows the California Board of Accountancy to reestablish a process for CPAs to receive a retired designation while providing licensees and consumer protections. It also places a cap on the fees, equivalent to sitting out for 5 years, to ensure the designation is intended for a licensee who is permanently retiring and not just seeking temporary relief from license renewal. And it also ensures that licensees facing disciplinary action be prevented from receiving the retired designation. With me today is Patty Bowers, Executive Officer of the California Board of Accountancy, the sponsors of our bill.
Thank you. Proceed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members. As indicated, we are the sponsor of AB 431. We believe it would benefit consumers by allowing more accurate information regarding CPA's license status to be posted to the board's website. We respectfully request your support.
Thank you. Any other witnesses in support? Any in opposition? Members? Senator Correa.
What is the regular license fee right now for an accountant on an annual basis?
$200.
And so $200 per year for an accountant to practice, and retired license fee would be how much?
The retired license fee is set at a maximum of $1,000. However, I'm sorry, the application fee or the restoration fee, if I could just seek clarification.
Both.
The application fee for the retired status, the maximum is set at $250. The restoration fee, the maximum is set at $1,000. However, it is anticipated that the board would, in regulation, set the fee at $100 for application and $200 for restoration.
What's the maximum fee for a practicing accountant on a basis? What's the maximum that you can charge them?
For their services?
A regular accountant, right.
I don't believe there's a set fee.
Maximum fee.
No, there's no, for services, there's no maximum fee.
For the license.
For the license, for an accountant to practice, you've said the fee is $250.
Oh, $200, excuse me.
$200. What's the maximum you can charge them?
$250, I believe.
But here you want to charge a maximum of $1,000 for the retired?
Correct. For restoration of the license.
Restoration. Clear as mud? Clear as mud, absolutely.
Mr. Emerson.
Well, I went to a California Board of Accountancy board meeting, and they were already discussing the regulations, so I don't think it's set yet. They would have to go back and have the board vote on how much they want to set it and other guidelines, but this just allows this retired designation for CPAs. So I don't think anything's set yet in our bill.
Okay. Mr. Emerson.
Yeah. The question I have is you've got a difference between 5 years. At 5 years, there's a difference in the fee. Why would that be stated in that there's an increase if you had your license?
Actually, the 5-year period has to do with once a license is in a delinquent status for 5 years, then the license is canceled.
So it's not an inactive license?
Correct. It's a delinquent.
It's a delinquent. Okay. That's the difference between
Okay. Any other discussion? Is there a motion? Do pass to appropriations. Secretary, call the roll.
Price.
Aye.
Price, aye. Emerson. Emerson, aye. Corbett. Correa.
Aye.
Correa, aye. Hernandez. Hernandez, aye. Negrete McLeod. Negrete McLeod, aye. Vargas. Vargas, aye. Walters. Walters, aye. Wyland. Wyland, aye. 8-0.
Okay, 8-0. That bill is out. Item 3. AB 536.
Thank you, members. I'm pleased to present AB 536 and would like to start off by thanking the committee staff for working with my office in addressing the concerns of the medical board. AB 536, a bill that will require the California Medical Board of California to post notification of any expunged misdemeanors or felony convictions on its website within 6 months of the receiving a certified copy of the court expungement order from the licensee. State law requires the Medical Board of California to post certain information on the Internet regarding physicians and surgeons. Disclosure of information by the Medical Board of California to the general public regarding physician conduct is an important public safeguard. However, the MBC often publishes information that is inaccurate. This can include information such as criminal misdemeanors or felony convictions that have been legally expunged by the courts. Continuous publication of these inaccuracies can not only be economically disastrous for a physician, but can also disrupt the successful delivery of healthcare services to consumers. This bill ensures consumers have the most accurate and complete information on their physicians when they are seeking information from the Medical Board of California's website. Respectfully ask for your aye vote. With me here today is Doug Chiappetta with the Union of American Physicians and Dentists.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. R. Douglas Chiappetta with the Union of American Physicians and Dentists, affiliated with AFSCME. This bill represents a culmination of work with the Medical Board and your staff. It essentially allows for an expungement order to be placed on the Medical Board's website with regard to a licensee's previous actions. We respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Any other witnesses in support? Any witnesses in support? Any witnesses in opposition?
Good afternoon. Jennifer Simoes with the Medical Board of California. The board previously had an opposed position on this bill. The board would like to thank the author's office, committee staff, and the sponsors for working with us on our concerns, and the board is no longer opposed to this bill.
Excellent.
To the chair, what was your opposition to this bill?
It was based on the fact that the board did not want the expunged conviction totally removed because it's a matter that has to be reported to the board either way. It stays in the central file of the board. What we asked for instead is that instead of total removal of the expunged conviction, that it be posted on our website the fact that the conviction had been expunged and the date of expungement.
Thank you.
Okay, reasonable compromise. Any other, Senator Wyland?
Can you explain to me what expungement means? Just I've forgotten. I've heard of it before, but I've forgotten what that means.
I believe that the physician can go to the court and ask that their conviction be expunged if they do the things that are supposed to do, like go see the parole officer or probation. It's something that can be kind of like a good behavior thing, and that conviction is expunged. But for medical board purposes, even if a conviction is expunged, the physician still has to report that to us. If they're asking to get a license from us, or it still is maintained in the central file, even though it's expunged, it's still something that the medical board considers.
So the conviction, there was a conviction, and the request is that the conviction is not overturned. It's just is removed for the record. What would be the circumstances?
Essentially, the genesis of this legislation was to have misdemeanors and expunged from a medical board website that were not pertaining to a general delivery of care, such as a DUI 20 years ago and so forth and so on. The medical board, has been noted, basically publishes information that's related to delivery of care. What we are seeking in this bill, which is a collaboration and a compromise, is essentially an expungement order that references on the website that there was previously a misdemeanor and that order has been expunged. It doesn't delete anything from the file.
Okay, and to get the expunged, you go before a court.
As any other citizen of this country would have to.
All right,
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Is there a motion? Secretary, please call the roll. This is due pass to appropriations.
Price?
Aye.
Price, aye. Emerson?
Aye.
Emerson, aye. Corbett? Corbett, aye. Correa? Hernandez? Hernandez, aye. Negretti McLeod? Negretti McLeod, aye. Vargas? Vargas, aye. Walters? Walters, aye. Wyland? Wyland, aye. That's 8-0.
Okay, 8-0. That bill is out. Chairwoman Hayashi, please join us. Please join us. We have an item 7.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I will be putting this bill over at the request of the chair and the vice chair of this committee. I have approached the opposition to this bill. We've begun our conversation, and we will be convening some meetings throughout the week to see if we can work out a compromise. So I will be putting the bill over today.
Thank you. I want to commend the author for her willingness to work with all the parties. The vice chair and I plan to be actively engaged in the discussions with all sides, and we think that we will reach a compromise that will be satisfactory to everyone. Or
thank you.
Something. Carl, any comments? Why you got the floor? Just another pretty face, I know. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Any comments, members? Any thoughts?
Pretty face. That's question.
No. Mr. Vice Chair, any?
No. That's, it's good. We sit down and have a conversation about this.
All right. Thank you. Okay, we've got one more item. Item awaiting. Can we see how far Ms. Butler is away? Thank you. That's been pulled. We can lift the calls so that.
Item 1, AB 278.
Members, we're going to lift the call.
Corbett? Corbett, aye. Wyland? Wyland, aye. That bill passes 9-0.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else?
Item number 2, AB 431. Current vote is 8-0. Corbett? Corbett, aye. Passes 9-0.
That bill is out.
Item number 3, AB 536. Correa. Current vote is 8-0. Passes 8-0.
Yeah, that bill is out.
Item number 4, AB 878 by Berryhill. Corbett? Corbett, aye. That's out 9-0.
All right, those bills are out. Item number 5, Assemblywoman Butler is in the House. 1181.
Good afternoon,
Are
Chair.
you blushing or just bread from
You're
the
making
weekend?
me laugh. You're just
okay.
making me laugh.
All right.
Pleasure to be here this afternoon to introduce AB 1181, which provides the tools that county inspectors need to protect consumers when selling commodities to recycling centers. Currently, there is no requirement that a recycling center provide a customer receipt on a recycling transaction. Consequently, a customer may be paid less than he or she is entitled. In addition, when a county weights and measures inspector tests the scales designed for the purchase of recyclables and the weight is correct, but the refund is less than the posted price, there is no clear violation in the statute. AB 1181 clarifies that it is a violation for a purchaser to pay a seller less than the highest applicable price posted for a commodity when that commodity is sold based upon a quantity represented by the purchaser or by using the purchaser's equipment. I'm accepting the committee's suggestion for a clarifying amendment regarding the posted price. However, instead of the language suggested in the analysis, I have incorporated into the bill the same language regarding posted price found in Business and Professions Code Section 12024.2. I'm also accepting the committee's technical amendment. AB 1181 is sponsored by the California Agricultural Commissioners and Sealers Association, and with me today is Matt Silverling. With the California Agricultural Commission Sealers Association, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Chair and members, Matt Seiberling on behalf of the Ag Commissioners and Sealers Association. We're the sponsors of the bill. Respectfully request your aye vote for this consumer protection measure.
We like consumer protection. We'll move the bill. Is there any other support for the bill? Any witnesses in opposition of the bill? Anybody left? Lots of folks left. Yes. Members, any comments or is there a motion?
Move the bill. Second.
Mr. Vice Chair, you made it?
I did.
Oh, you're fast. Well, for good reasons. I think it's a good approach, consumer protection, and we do pass 2 approaches. Is the recommendation. As amended. Please call the roll.
Price?
Aye.
Price, aye. Emerson?
Aye.
Emerson, aye. Corbett? Corbett, aye. Correa?
Aye.
Correa, aye. Hernandez? Hernandez, aye. Negrete McLeod?
Aye.
Negrete McLeod, aye. Vargas? Vargas, aye. Walters? Walters, aye. Wyland? He stepped out. It's 8-0.
It's 8-0. We'll hold it open for Senator Wyland. He may rejoin us.
Tremendous.
Thank you. Okay, members, that completes our agenda. We'll leave it open for a minute.
Fun committee,
but only
please
a minute.
Keep it going.
Yes, I know. It's been a love fest today, hasn't it?
It is.
All right.
What a difference a week makes.
JV, do you want to see if Wyland's out there?
He's in the hall there. Just show the room. Good job on that program. Or 2-year bill. 2-year bill. 2 weeks, 2 years.
Senator Wyland is back.
Yes. Wyland, aye.
Wyland, aye. That passes 9-0.
Opposed, 9-0. That bill is out, and this meeting is adjourned.